Hi, I am Antaryami and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain the concept of population pyramid and net reproductive rate. So let's start. So a population pyramid, also called an age gender pyramid, is a graphical representation of various age groups in a population. The age structure of population is a product of age-specific pattern of mortality and reproduction. Hence, a population pyramid represents the pattern of mortality and reproduction among different age groups in a population. For human population, age gender pyramid or the population pyramid is of three different types, that is expansive, stationary and constructive. If we can see this image, then we can find there are three different types of pyramid, that is expansive, stationary and constrictive. In each of these pyramid, a vertical line separating the gender, that is on the left side that is male and on the right side that is female. And it also represents three different colors if we go vertically upwards. The lower one is pre-reproductive, middle one is reproductive, whereas the upper one is post-reproductive zone or the post-reproductive ages. And based on these ages and based on the population on different ages, these population pyramids are classified as expansive, stationary and constrictive. If we compare, then we can see that in expansive pyramid there is a very wide younger stage and narrower at later stage, which indicates a high birth rate and a high death rate, which found in the least developed countries where there is a high population growth because of uncontrolled measure of population expansion, as well as because of poor healthcare system there is a high mortality rate. In stationary pyramid, we can see population remain constant over the time, that is equal birth and death rates, which is example for the population in developing or developed countries. Whereas in constrictive pyramid there is a narrower bottom, and we can see that both birth and death rates are lower as compared to expansive and stationary pyramid, which is an example for the most developed countries where there is a high or higher quality of healthcare management system reflects the lower mortality rate, as well as the birth control measure reflect the low birth rate. Now we can explain different terminologies, that is biotic potential, natality and mortality. The reproductive capacity of an organism is called the biotic potential or the reproductive potential. Natality refers to the production of new individuals, and this can be of two different types, that is absolute or maximum natality, which refers to the theoretical maximum of production of new individual under ideal condition. That is, if there is a ideal condition, then what is the maximum amount of reproduction? And this is the absolute natality, which is constant for a specific population. In realized natality, which refers to the population increase under specific environmental condition, which is in the existing environmental condition, and it varies with size and composition of the population and with environmental condition. Mortality refers to the death rate, and this can be of two different types, that is minimum or potential mortality, which reflects lowest death rate for a given species under most favorable condition. If a species gets most favorable condition, then obviously the death rate will be lower, and the least death rate is the minimum mortality or the potential mortality. Similarly, the realized mortality reflects the actual death rate in the observed existing environmental conditions. Now, to understand the net reproductive rate, we can understand first the life table. So, the life table is simply an age-specific account of mortality. The construction of a life table begins with a cohort, which is a group of individuals born in the same period of the time. For example, in the table represents a cohort of 530 grey squirrels from a population, and we can see that there are different terminologies, where X represents the age class, NX represents the number of individuals from the original cohort that are alive at the specific age X. For example, at age 0 there are 530 individuals, whereas at age 1 there are 159 individuals. So the NX represents the population at specific age, and dx is the age specific mortality, that is the difference between the current population with the initial population, and age specific mortality rate can be expressed as qx. When constructing the life table, it is common practice to express the number of individuals surviving to any given age as a proportion of the original cohort size, that is nx by n0. So this value, that is Lx, referred to as survivorship, which represents the probability at birth of surviving to any given stage or any given age x. So Ix particularly represents the survivorship rate. That is, we can calculate this rate as if there are 159 survivors out of 530, then if we divide the 159 by 530, then we will get 0.30. That is, only 30% of the original population survived in the age 1. Similarly, we can calculate for the further ages. We can use the gray squirrel population as the basis for constructing a fecundity or fertility table, and this fertility table particularly used for calculating the net reproductive rate. So in this table we can see there is an extra symbol, that is bx, and this bx is the mean number of female born to a female in each age group, that is how many females are born from individual female in this particular age groups. Although bx may initially increase with age, survivorship, that is Lx, in each age class declines. If we multiply the bx value by the corresponding Lx value, the resulting value is the mean number of females born in each age group, and this can be adjusted for the survivorship, that is how many females are survived at each age class, and out of these survived female, how many they are producing new females. The value of Ixbx or Lxbx are summed over all age classes at which reproduction occurs. The result represents the net reproductive rate, that is the summation of Ix and Bx or Lxbx represent the net reproductive rate, which indicates the average number of females that are produced during a lifetime by a newborn female. If the net reproductive rate is less than 1, then it indicates females do not replace themselves in the population. If the value is greater than 1, females are more than replacing themselves. For gray squirrel, the R0 value of 1.4 suggests that there is a growing population of females. Note the significant difference between the gross and net reproductive rates, that is 10 and 1.4 respectively. So the difference reflects the fact that only a small proportion of female born will survive to the maximum age and produce 10 female offspring, because in this population we can see there are only 10 female produced by the population, whereas if we see the actual net reproduction for individual age classes, that is 1.40, that is each female able to replace the another female at a factor of 1.40. I hope this video will help you to understand the concept of population pyramid, life table and net reproductive rate. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe my channel for further updates. Thank you.